Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression-style playthrough series of The Lord of the Rings, the card game. I am playing the Nightmare version of the 6th and final quest from the Ringmaker cycle, the Antlered Crown. This is not my first attempt, but hopefully this time I will manage not to make any obvious rules mistakes. So, first player takes control of Chief Turch. Set Raven Chief and Raven Chief's camp aside out of play. Reveal one copy of Dunland Battlefield and make it the active location. Reveal one copy of Raven War Camp and add it to the staging area. Create the Raven deck and set it next to the quest deck. Each player chooses one different enemy from the Raven deck and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck and Raven deck. Before that, this deck is definitely taking a mulligan because I don't have Light of Valinor, and I still don't have Light of Valinor. Over here I have Galdor, so rather than taking a normal mulligan, I discard cards and then draw an equal number of cards. Under the circumstances, though it's unusual, I'm actually going to discard one copy of Daeron's Runes, but not both. Okay, Gandalf is good. So, Chief Turch is here. Dunland Battlefield is active. Raven War Camp in the staging area. They are both time 3. The Raven deck is here. Going to take a Dunland Prowler and a Dunland Tribesman, I think. I could take a Dunland Berserker if I want to use that Daeron's Runes, but no, I'm going to take the Tribesman. Advantage of the Tribesman. Easily killable by Bjorn, and high engagement cost, so I don't have to engage him if I don't want to, while still also being probably low threat. On your return journey to Isengard, you find war in Dunland. The Raven clan has refused the Boar's claim to the Antlered Crown, and Chief Turch asks you to join his clan as they march to battle. Seeing an opportunity to earn Saruman the friendship of a unified Dunland, you agree to join forces and fight. So, Control N. The first deck gets an extra draw from Círdan, and I'm definitely keeping Arwen. Okay, so Elven Spear on Glorfindel. Obviously, it's free. Play an Envoy of Pelargir, add the resource back to Glorfindel. Do I want to play Arwen immediately? Arwen is definitely one of the most important cards that I want to get into play. 2 threat on that Dunland Tribesman for the cards I've drawn. Yeah, Arwen is definitely one of the most important cards for me to get into play, but that being said, I obviously start with more cards in my hand. Some of the various effects will scale off the number of cards in my hand, so it could be good to get more out. I could play an Envoy and a Steed of Imladris. That would take me down to 3 cards in hand, whereas Arwen would take me down to 4. I can also play the Arwen's Council immediately, of course. I think getting down to 3 is going to be reasonable enough. So Arwen, who will target Denethor, always. And here, well, let's see, there's Envoy is a possibility, Errand Rider is a possibility. Warden of Healing is obviously good, but I don't need it immediately. So I think go Envoy, Errand Rider, Protector of Lorien. Okay. In the quest phase, I'm going to play the Arwen's Council. So I'm questing for 1, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11 at least. Because both players are below 5 cards, no bonus threat on the Prowler. So 2, 3, 5 threat in the staging area. Should send Glorfindel, but I'll hold back the Envoy. Theodred adds a resource to himself because I have Steward in hand. Although, of course, I do have the Errand Rider as an option. Well, that also means I can move the resource if I change my mind later in the round. Okay, Fierce Folk. Doom 3. Each player draws 3 cards. Until the end of the round, players cannot play events. Okay. Well, those sneak attacks are very nice to see. Oh, and both decks just drew cards, so more threat on the tribesman, and a Raven Country. So, it's either 2 threat here, 3 here, for a total of 5 additional threat. So 14 against 10. I'm not exploring the active location. I cannot play events because of that treachery, but I can discard to Protector of Lorien. I'm going to discard the Elven Jeweler, increasing my willpower by 1. So I explore the Dunland battlefield, travel to the Raven War Camp. I'm at 30 threats, so I have to engage the Prowler. That should be fine. Yeah, I'm going to optionally engage the tribesman as well. Get the threat out of the staging area. So, Chief Turch does not exhaust to defend, so he will defend the Prowler. Defending player discards an attachment he controls. Well, so much for the Elven Spear. Denethor can defend the tribesman. He is a sentinel thanks to Arwen. And okay, Bjorn will take out the tribesman. Remembering it is shift delete because the Raven deck has a separate discard pile to the encounter deck. Chief Turch and the Envoy can deal 1 damage. So, okay, in the circumstances, yeah, I guess I do want to stick with this. Chief Turch crosses the table. Time counters are removed. And Control N. New round. An extra Steward. This deck gets an extra draw. Oh, now that's very annoying. I would really like the Gondorian Shield, but the Test of Will is tough to pass up. Yeah, I will discard the shield. There are 2 more copies after all. So now, I'm not sure where I want to put Steward of Gondor. Because having Sneak Attack Gandalf available would obviously be great. But, yeah, no, I think it's going to be better to put it on a lore hero. Well, let's put it on Galdor. Play the Warden of Healing. Currently there are no ill effects for me drawing cards, so I'm going to play Daron's Runes. Draw 2. Oh, I found all my sneak attacks. Discard Steward of Gondor. And I'll play this Envoy, adding the resource back to Glorfindel. Okay, given the Honor Guard, I kind of want to save Bjorn's resource rather than spend it on an envoy, though getting cards out of hand is obviously a concern. Horse breeder does not find any horses. Yeah, I guess. Well, I think it's so much of a muchness, as they say, but okay, I'm gonna do this. There is only 3 threat in the staging area. I'm gonna play the Elrond's Council right away. Requesting 1, 3, 5, 6, 10. The resource is going here, obviously, but then being sent over here for test of will purposes. And I've lost count of my willpower. I want to send all these envoys, I think. So 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14 should be plenty. Raven Stronghold and Raven Village. Okay, just 4 threat added, so I make 7 progress. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so between these time effects, obviously Raven Village I have to go to right now if I don't want it to trigger. But then next round I'll have a choice of 2. So Raven Village will reveal the top card of the Raven deck. Raven Stronghold, if the time runs out, it will reveal 2 cards from the Raven deck, but when I explore it, it will still add 1 card to the Raven deck. So note, that is obviously 1 less enemy if I explore it than if I let the time run out. And the enemy would be added, not revealed, which could be relevant. But I am getting enemies regardless. Raven Country raises threat for number of cards in hand. That's not as big a concern to me. So I think I'm going to... no, this will also go off. So if I want to do the Raven Stronghold, I have to do it now. But then on the other hand, okay, so let's think about this. If I do the Stronghold, I get an enemy from the Stronghold, from exploring it. And I'll get an enemy from the time running out on the village. So that's 2 enemies. If I explore the village, then I get 2 enemies from the Stronghold. So the only difference is in the reveal versus add, and the fact that the Raven Village has less quest points, which is why I'm going to go there. So, under the circumstances, I'm just going to defend with Glorfindel, as strange as that may seem. Deal 1 damage to the defending character. He takes 1 from the attack as well. I can heal. Bjorn can kill off the Prowler. Denethor can take a look at the top card of the encounter deck. Gathering forces. Okay. Add the top 2 cards of the Raven deck to the staging area. If any player has 5 or more cards in hand, this effect cannot be cancelled. Neither player will have that many cards, so the effect can be cancelled. So I might just leave it there knowing that I can cancel it. Yeah, rather than sinking it to the bottom. Chief Church crosses the table. Time counters are removed. Control N. This deck draws an extra card. I'll discard the Honor Guard. Play this Honor Guard. Play the third Envoy. Add the resource back to Glorfindel. Over here, I absolutely do want Asphalloth. Okay, yeah. So, there is 4 threat in the staging area. I'm going to sneak attack Gandalf. And drop my threat by 5. First for definitely 4, 6, 7, 8, 12, 14, 16. Yeah. Let's go 19. Actually, no, I'm going to put the Theodred resource on the Theodred. And we reveal this, which I cancel. And, raising the cry, remove 1 time counter from each location in play. Right. This, I guess, was the one other reason why I should have possibly gone to the stronghold instead of the village. But okay, I remove time counters from everything and replace the time counters on here. And the time effect went off here, so reveal the top card of the Raven deck. Dunlending Horde. Can't have attachments or take non-combat damage. After the engaged player draws any number of cards, heal all damage from Dunlending Horde. Okay. Yeah, so. Well, that has only added 4 threat to the staging area, so I'm making 11 progress, which will advance the quest. Chief Church's goal is to defeat the Raven clan before they can marshal their full strength, but Dunland is a vast country and there is much ground to cover. The longer it takes you to subdue the enemy, the more time they have to gather. Shuffle the Raven deck discard pile into the Raven deck, then starting with the first player, each player takes the top card of the Raven deck and adds it to the staging area. So, shuffle these in. And, okay, they are added to the staging area, not revealed, so I do not trigger this when revealed, though drawing more cards might actually be helpful to me. Gandalf returns to my hand. I travel to the Raven Stronghold. It has less quest points than the Raven Country, although also less threat, so I suppose it makes not that much difference. I can Asphalloth this. Well, actually no. Yeah. Just on the off chance I'm going to hold back on that. So Time 3. After the last time counter is removed, reveal the top card of the Raven deck, add it to the staging area, place 3 time counters. Each location in the staging area gets +2 quest points. Right, yeah, I forgot about that bit. Oh no, it doesn't matter. So, I need to deal with some of these enemies. So I guess I'm gonna bring down a horde here. And a tribesman here. And then I'm going to sneak attack Gandalf again. Although, yeah, actually I could just sneak attack Gandalf in the next quest phase, kill this guy in the staging area, rather than engaging him. That is easier. The only thing is I'm kind of tempted to sneak attack Gandalf to draw cards, but I think it's fine. So, okay. That being the case, I have the option of moving a resource to Beyond, because his resource pool is not the same as him, and is thus not immune to player card effects, so that I could just feint this guy. The other option would be to defend him with Denethor. Denethor is 4 defense against 6 attack. Have an honor guard, but it's not really reliable. Or defend with Bjorn. I'm going to use up the feint. And actually, I'll make it a law resource since I've got Steward there. So, feint. And I attack for 5, 8, 11. Take out the Dunlending Horde. Heal Glorfindel. Chief Church crosses the table. Oh, I take a look at the top card of the encounter deck. Okay, that's actually not so bad. It would just refresh the time. So, because the effect was already triggered, so I'm okay with that. So, Chief Church crosses the table, time counters are removed. So this reveals the top 2 cards of the Raven deck. Okay. And for this, each player raises their threat by the number of cards in their hand. So 3 and 0. And Control N. First deck draws a second card. Obviously discard Arwen, and I'm going to be playing Gather Information. Okay. So, this guy will be dead. There's going to be 13 threat in the staging area. So, let's have a look at this. Just want to check that I haven't sent anything to the wrong discard pile. I can do that just by counting. 2, 7, 3, total of 12, which is the right number of cards for the Raven deck. 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 15, 19. Yeah, I'm going to go with that 19, and I'm going to go to the main quest. So, raising the cry. There are no time counters to remove, so it's just place X time counters on each location in play with no time counters on it. And Raven Village. Okay. So I make 4 progress. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Elven Jeweler to Protector of Lorien. When the stronghold is explored, add the top card of the Raven deck to the staging area. This is a lot of enemies. Travel to the Raven Village. Gandalf is back in my hand. Exhaust Asphalt to put 2 progress here. Going to that's no. Yeah, if I want to get more enemies cleared out, I think I have to go for... Okay. So I engage the Dunland Raider here. I have to assign 2 damage because I have 2 cards in my hand. I engage Dunland Chieftain here. Discard X cards. X being 0. And then final sneak attack Gandalf. Doing 4 damage here. And yeah. So yeah, in order to make this work, I'm going to chump with the Errand Rider and defend this with Beyond. 2 additional shadow cards from the Raven deck. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. Twice. Okay. I assume those stack. So I am looking at 2 additional attacks. So I guess Beyond again. No, I can theoretically still survive this. That puts him up to 7 attack. I can cancel 1 damage. And this is very risky, but okay. I survived, so I can now attack for 4, 5, 8. Taking out a raider. I can attack for 5, combined with the 4 damage. There we go. I can heal, and since I have all these law resources, I'm going to ready and heal again, and that'll be enough for the moment. I've cleared out a bunch of threat from the staging area. Circumstances, I feel like... actually, hang on, I'm going to take back that readying of the Warden. So I can do it later. So as of right now, this deck's hand is empty. I could trigger Galdor to draw 6. And I think that's going to be a good idea. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. At the end of the phase, Gandalf returns to my hand. Control N. This deck gets an extra draw. Discard a horse and then play the horse breeder to see if I can find a different horse. Arnor is there. Shuffle my deck. Play Arnor onto Glorfindel. I forgot to move Chief Touch. I forgot to remove time counters. Okay. Daron's Runes. Scarred Steward. Play the new Errand Rider. Play the Evening Star, I think. Put 2 progress here. Now it's only still in play because locations in the staging area are getting +2 quest points. There's 10 threat in the staging area. Questing 1, 2, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 16. Oh yeah, of course. I'm playing Gildor's Council. And yeah, actually I'm going to take back that Evening Star. I can potentially do it later. So yeah, okay, 16 against 10. Only revealing 1 card. Raven Warrior. Okay. So I make 3 progress, which explores the Raven Village. Okay, I'm going to exhaust Asphalon to place 2 progress on the Raven Country. Travel to the Raven Country, which is immediately explored because it's no longer into the staging area, getting +2 quest points. I don't have to engage any of these enemies, but obviously I should. I see, I really should take the opportunity to deal with the Dunlending Horde, because they are they are more difficult to deal with than a bunch of these other enemies, because without getting attack boosts it depends on Chief Turch being on the right side of the table. So, we still don't have a Gondorian shield for Denethor, so actually, yeah, I think this is okay. He's defending for 4. Okay, no shadow effect. I'm pretty sure that the only attack boost that's more than 1 is plus X attack, where X is the time value of the active location, and we currently don't have one. So I can cancel 1 damage with the Honor Guard, so he takes only 1 damage. Take out the Dunlending Horde. I'm going to transfer the resource to Theodred. Chief Turch crosses the table. Time counter is removed and then they're replaced. Reveal the top card of the Raven deck, which has not run out yet. Okay. Control N. Extra draw here. Obviously, I discard Elven Light and play double back. This is getting out of sequence though. Okay, Gildor's Council. Once again, very nice to see. Celebrian Stone onto Theodred. Yeah, I'm going to transfer resource to Theodred, play the Herald of Anorian, and not trigger his ability. I could consider hardcasting Gandalf. I'm going to play Elven Light. Okay, found the shield for Denethor. That makes me feel a lot more secure about combat. Unfortunately, I don't have a means of discarding Elven Light again. I have the Steed of Imladris, but no active location to put progress on. Okay. So, Gildor's Council again. I'm going to double back. So 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 14... 19 against 9. Ravenclan Druid. Okay, so I have to remember that this guy has a forced effect. One of my previous attempts at recording this, I was engaged with one of these for like 2 or 3 rounds and completely forgot that I should have been removing time counters. 3 threat added. I make 7 progress and explore double back. Okay. So, well, I have to engage the druid. And I want to be engaging with this deck, so I pretty much have to leave it at that. Defend with Denethor. Attack for 8. This guy came from the encounter deck, so I don't need to do anything special when discarding him. Achieve touch across the table. Only 1 time counter to remove. Control N. Extra draw for Círdan, obviously I discard. The Elven Light. Play the Rivendell Blade onto Glorfindel. A lot of superfluous resources kicking about here. Going to put this Lambus onto Glorfindel. And is it time for a Gandalf? What would I do? Drop my threat? Draw more cards? Could damage an enemy. It wouldn't kill anything, just soften them up. Okay, so I'm going to gather information. 4, 6, 11, 14, 16, 19. That should still be fine. Reveal. Add the top 2 cards of the Raven deck to the staging area. I could cancel it if I had a Test of Will, which I don't. Almost run out the Raven deck. It was just add them to the staging area, not reveal. And the second card of staging. Well, finally got a location. So that's 2. There's only 3 threat added to the staging area. So I explore double back. And yeah, let's have Light of Valinor. Just 7 rounds into the game. And hadn't found it yet. And here, maybe just the last Gildor's Council. Yeah, that seems like the way to go to me. Okay. Travel to the Raven Stronghold. I can only engage 1 enemy. I now have suitable targets for Gandalf damage. So that's a thing. 2 cards in this deck's hand. So I don't want to take this guy, but I can manage the damage from this. 1, 2. and leave it at that. Defend with Denethor. Either remove one time counter from a location. Yep, okay. Can heal these two. I can move a resource over here. Remember to trigger Arnor to place some more progress. Remove time counters. Control N. So drawing cards, I discard the Rivendell Blade. Threat on this guy. Chief Church is over here now. Okay. Play the Herald of Anorian. Play Gandalf. Knock the tribesmen out of the staging area. Over here I want to put the Rivendell bow onto Glorfindel. And of course Light of Valinor also onto Glorfindel. I almost forgot to play Light of Valinor there because I just was sort of thinking, oh, you know, that's a duplicate Light of Arnor, because of course, you know, it seemed very unrealistic that I would be 8 rounds into a game and not have Light of Valinor and Glorfindel yet. Okay, so we're on to 7 threat in the staging area. 4, 7. I'm discarding this to the Seed of Imladris, clearing the Raven Stronghold, which does add the Dullard Prowler, and that also emptied the Raven deck, so I've just reshuffled. Okay, so that's actually 8 threat in the staging area, questing 4, 7, 9, 14, 17, 19, 19. And reveal it, hang on. I have a Gildor's Council. Gildor's Council as well. So questing for 19 against 8. Revealing Highlands of Dunland. The last time a counter was removed, return each enemy and played to the staging area. So 7 progress. Plays 2 progress with Asphalloth Travel. Now, how much attack do I have? Well, I've got Chief Church over here, so 2, 3, 7, 9. I could take a Chieftain, but I would have to trigger this. So maybe I do just stick to this deck taking a Prowler like I was originally thinking. And this deck can take out Chieftain. So in the circumstances, I guess Gandalf can just defend this. Denethor defends this. Attack for 6. Take out Dunlord Prowler. Attack for 5, 8, ignoring 2 points of defense. Take out the Chieftain. Chief Church crosses the table. Gandalf is discarded at the end of the round. I remove time counters. This one means I reveal the top card of the Raven deck, which is a Dunlord Berserker. Control N. Extra draw for Círdan. Discard Light of Valinor. Going to play Elven Light. Okay, and then discard Arwen and Elven Light to put the Elven Jeweler into play. And then play Elven Light. Okay. Play the second Warden of Healing. Yeah. Gandalf is just going to drop the Berserker. And, okay, so 4 threat in the staging area. Questing 4, discarding the Steed of Imladris. 7, 9, 11, 14, 16. I need to make 8 progress. I do still have Protector of Lorien available. Let's go with this. Raven Country and Dunlord Battlefield. So, yep, that's added 6 threat. I make 8 progress. And advance to stage 3. The warriors of the Raven clan won't stop fighting as long as their leader spurs them on. You must find the Raven chief and defeat him in order to break the spirit of his men and bring an end to this conflict. Add Raven Chief and Raven Chief's camp to the staging area. Take the top X cards from the Raven deck and add them to the staging area. X is the number of players -1. Raven Chief's camp, and Dunlord Tribesman. Time 2. After the last time counter is removed, each engaged enemy makes an attack. Place 2 time counters. At the end of the round, if Raven Chief is in the victory display, the players win the game. So. Oh, and Raven Chief's camp is time 3. And it exhausts damaged characters. Okay. Of course, I have to explore it to be able to deal damage to the Raven Chief, who I cannot avoid engaging. So let's travel there. As it stands, I'll get these engagements. But okay, so yeah, so I'm going to Asphalloth that. Aaron Rider resource here. Play the Evening Star. Place 2 progress on the dominant battlefield. Then play the Evening Star again. Since there's a copy in my discard pile, I resolve the effect twice. So I place a total of 4 progress on the Raven Country. Now this deck's hand is empty, I could safely engage the Raven Warrior. And yeah, I guess that would be reasonable. I could possibly take this guy as well. It would be a question of defences rather than having enough attack. But I think I can do this. So, okay, so Raven Chief. Actually, no, that's an issue. Defending the Raven Warrior. I didn't save a chump on this side of the table. Nothing bad happens if I draw cards right now. Did not draw a feint. Okay, so the plans for attacking. 5 kills that guy. 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't damage the Raven Chief. Glorfindel can contribute to this. He effectively contributes 5, so actually no, I don't actually need Gandalf to attack. So, right. Denethor defends against the Raven Chief. That's fine. Chief Turch can defend against the Prowler. Defending player discards an attachment he controls. Oh yeah, I also have this Lembas. Still. And I guess I'm going to discard the Lembas. Throw the Elven Jeweler under the bus. Yep. Elven Jeweler is very dead. Gandalf defends this. Lost one attack, that's fine. So now, as planned, Bjorn takes out the Tribesman. Chief Turch and 3 Envoys of Pelargir take out the Prowler. Where did it send my envoys? Okay. Oh, right, yeah, because I was hitting Shift Delete. And that was the wrong button. Right. Deselect the envoys before doing that. And then Glorfindel and Galdor can take out the Raven Warrior. I can heal the only damage that can be healed when The Raven Chief attacks, remove 1 time counter from the active location. So that should be a thing. And Glorfindel just got a kill, so Arnor will explore the Dunland battlefield. Locations in the staging area no longer have +2 quest points. Chief Church moves over here. I remove time counters. Gandalf is discarded. Control N. Also remove a time counter from here, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to just Asphalloth it. Extra draw for Círdan. Discard the Light of Valinor. Play the Rivendell Bow onto Galdor. This is going out of sequence. Asphalloth, I can discard it to Protector of Lorien. So, takes 14. He's not immune to player card effects, so the Rivendell Blade does work. If that Elven Jeweler was still alive, I would have enough attack. Or if I just don't quest with Círdan, as weird an idea as that seems, of course I could have defended the tribe. Well, given the shadow effect, it would have been a problem. Well, no, I could have defended the tribesman with the Chief Church, and given that I had an honor guard, he would have lived. But okay, so I'm also playing the Elrond's Council. So 1, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14. It's an empty staging area. Discarding this to Protector of Lorien to boost willpower 15. I need to make 9 progress. Oh, or, yeah, Galdor has attack. I can send Círdan instead of Galdor. That's 2 more willpower. I'm worried I could send a Warden of Healing on the quest. Every little helps, and I shouldn't need both of them. Thirdred adds the resource to himself. Revealing, Raven Stronghold, and Raven Talisman, which I will cancel. What does it do? Each player draws a card until the end of the round. Add 1 to the total threat in the staging area for each card in the first player's hand. So, yeah, actually, I guess I don't cancel it because I could draw a feint. And, well, it doesn't even add threat to the staging area because I can just discard that card to boost my willpower. And even if it did, it would have been 18 against 3 instead of 19 against 2. I explore the Raven Chief's camp. So now, Raven Chief's camp is in the victory display, so Raven Chief can be damaged. Play the feint. Now attack 5, 8, 11, 13, ignoring 2 points of defense, is enough to take out the Raven Chief. And technically it's at the end of the round, so Control R. Touch is back over here. And now I have won the game. And that concludes the Nightmare Ringmaker cycle. It's been an interesting journey in many respects. This quest, it's much as it is out of Nightmare, it's tough, it's interesting as a challenge, it is kind of fun, but there are a lot of effects to keep track of, which is why I only successfully recorded this on the third attempt, because the first 2 times I was missing things. I might, full disclosure, I was quite possibly going to lose those 2 attempts. Certainly, if I had remembered to trigger the things that I forgot to trigger, they probably would have led to me losing. But the reason that I'm not uploading them is not because I was losing, it's because I was making mistakes in the execution of the rules. So that's the biggest problem. And it's not all the time effects. Those I remember because they all happen at the same time. It's other effects that happen at different times. Like, I know when I played this in standard difficulty, it was this guy. And then earlier, this guy. If you don't kill him right away, it's a bunch more time counters being removed. Aside from the many things to keep track of, as I say, it is kind of a fun quest. I could have explored this, just as a side note, I could have explored this, I think, oh no, whatever, it doesn't matter. Both decks performed pretty well. Maybe I should have brought... I was going to say maybe I should have brought Hasty Strokes, but given you're not wanting to hold too many cards in hand at once, no, I really shouldn't have brought Hasty Strokes. I should have brought Burning Brands for Denethor. But then, I mean, he wasn't defending everything, so... not an absolute... where is it? That one treachery that is kind of ridiculous. Not that one. That one you build around. This one. Yeah, okay, so you revealed 1 card and it just turned into 2. Specifically 2... well, it's again, it also depends on the shuffle of the Raven deck. If any player has 3 or more cards at hand, then it could turn into more than 2 cards. But also it could turn into, you know, the 2 copies of the toughest enemy in the quest, which is also the highest threat enemy in the quest, to cause you as many problems as possible, and not that high in engagement cost. It's... anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon, and goodbye.